Dr. Joel Furman, 7 times New York Times bestselling author. Thank you so much for being here with us today. I know our audience was absolutely delighted to hear from you, and your message was inspiring and impactful. What did you think about our event?
Thank you. Great to be here. It's always wonderful to have such an enthusiastic audience that are really interested in the message and trying to improve and better their life. And of course, this was a terrific event encompassing a lot of different elements that constitute how to make for a happy and healthy life, and I'm very proud to have been part of it. Thanks for inviting me.
Thank you, Dr. Furman. I know your main message is related to nutritional science and the nutritarian diet, a diet that's plant-rich and high in nutrients. How does one do that with limited time and limited budget?
Well, actually, putting your health first is a process that makes you more successful in life, happier, healthier, more successful in your career, better able to focus on your family. In other words, don't negate your health when you're talking about being more productive in life and getting more done to accomplish whatever you feel is your passion. Being in good health gives you more ability to wake up excited and refreshed about each day and passionate about living and enjoying life. And it doesn't make life more difficult. It makes life more pleasurable. Life becomes more difficult when you're dysthymic and you're feeling weak and fatigued and lack of excitement about living. So we're talking here about being the best version and healthiest version of you. And that means planning to get enough sleep every night, and planning to do some exercise every day, and planning to get the right food into your body. And sometimes it takes some advanced planning and thinking how you're going to get this done. Now's not the time to tell you all the tips and tricks. But some very, very busy individuals, have some help. They might even hire a person to work 10 hours a week, help them prepare meals, or they might go out to a supermarket that has a salad bar, or they might eat more frozen vegetables. They might buy some prepared salad dressings or sauces to put on a wok vegetable dish. It doesn't take more than 10 minutes a day to make a healthy dinner. It doesn't take more than 5 minutes to put some healthy salad dressing on a bowl of vegetables. It's not the amount of time you dedicate towards your health is well worth the effort you put into it. And it's only people who are food addicts with self-destructive behaviors and are looking for rationalizations and excuses that come up with all these reasons that seems that eating healthfully and living healthfully is so difficult. It's not really difficult at all. It's actually easier, more economical, and makes more sense than eating in a way that's self-destructive to your own mental well-being and your own health. So think about the long term here and make the right decisions now, because the decisions you make now is going to affect who you become down the road and the quality of your life in your later years. So these things really matter.
I'm going to add one quick question to you. It's a myth or fact when you eat vegetables or salads, green things, are they raw food or they are just, as good as anything else?
It's good to eat a wide variety of plant foods when you're eating a healthy diet. And that means to eat both raw foods and cooked foods. So we want people to eat at least a salad once a day, and even before dinner, eat some raw vegetables with a dip, with a hummus, with a guacamole, with some kind of dressing. And then have your cooked vegetable meals. Maybe a vegetable wok with a Thai curry sauce, with some, with a frozen whipped fruit dessert or something. But the point is that we're eating a mixture of both raw and cooked food and a wide variety of different colorful plants. Our diet is not narrowly focused on one or two foods.
Yeah, once you cook the food, especially the green, all the nutrients are gone.
Well, certain foods are absorbed more readily with cooked foods, and certain nutrients are absorbed more readily with raw foods. That's why we don't really, when we're cooking foods, we're mostly using water-based cooking methods. Like we're wokking, we're steaming, we're blanching, or we're making it a stew or a soup, like a vegetable bean soup, because the water base prevents burning, darkening, browning, caramelizing of the vegetables, which can impair their nutritional quality.
Dr. Furman, you talked about sleep a lot. Can you tell us about your bedtime routine after you eat dinner? You're done eating by about 7. What do you do after that?
That's correct. I recommend stopping eating, trying to eat dinner around 5 o'clock, and finish eating dinner by 6 o'clock. And I go to bed around 10. So that's 4 hours from when I ate dinner to allow the meal to digest fully. So when I'm going to sleep at night, I'm going to sleep on an empty stomach. We heal and repair most effectively during rest and sleep when we're not digesting food simultaneously. A lot of people eat a big meal at bedtime, they eat too much in the evening, they're digesting food half the night, and they're not getting the full benefit in healing and anti-aging phenomena that occurs when you're sleeping. So I recommend that you reduce eating towards the end of the day. And I also think that dessert at night is important because you stop eating before you got full. You stop eating when you had a reasonable amount of food, and then you might have a peach or a couple of figs, or some frozen banana whipped with a few macadamia nuts and real vanilla bean powder, and we have a little bit of dessert to mark the end of eating for the day. So we stop eating, shut down the restaurant, clean your teeth, and engage in recreational and fun activities. Entertainment, going for a hike, playing pickleball, go dancing, sing songs, tell jokes, socialize with people, play cards. In other words, think about all the things you want to do in your life that's fun so you can learn how to recreate without food. The American population doesn't know how to recreate, they just know how to use food as recreation.
Dr. Furman, can you talk to us about your morning routine? What do you do in the first 1 or 2 hours after you wake up?
Oh, nobody ever asked me that. Well, when I wake up, it's cool outside and the sun is not shining bright, so I usually go work in the garden the first 2 hours when I wake up. So when I wake up, I take my dog and I go up and I dig holes, plant trees, fertilize, water, weed, climb the trees and pick the figs or something. So usually I'm out there working in the garden. I use a water meter to see what trees need watering. I make my own compost. And I put bacteria that decomposes the compost pile. I measure the temperature of the compost pile. When the compost pile gets below 80, because when I put the bacteria on, it gets very high, like 100 degrees while it's composting. When the compost gets below 80, then I put the red wigglers in, the worms, to decompose it further. So I make my own fertilizer, my own compost. I dig giant donut-shaped wells around the roots of the trees. So I expose just a little bit of the end roots so I can dig down and add the compost around the tree base to allow the tree to get bigger and produce more fruit. So I usually spend the first 2 hours of the day gardening, and in the morning, that's when you have the best light, where you don't burn your skin. It's good for your eyes, it's good for your emotions, and it's good to have your hands in the dirt and working in the earth. So and then after that, when the sun comes out, then after that, so that's like between 6 and 8. Eat breakfast at 8:30 or 8 to 8:30, and then I'm usually going to start to work in the house a little bit.
Last question, since we're almost out of time.
Okay.
If you were Surgeon General, what are the top 3 things that you would want to work on first?
Well, that's a tough question. Well, if I was Surgeon General, I would emphasize to the population that medical care is not the major factor that determines your health. It's self-care. That real health care is self-care. And real self-care is lifestyle medicine. And it's really not medicine. It's just lifestyle factors that lead to good health. And of course, we're talking about a primary is diet and exercise and the way we think and how kind we are to others and whether we're motivated by having creative goodwill. So our whole, so we're talking here about making a kinder population that is trying to improve the health, where we're all trying to improve everybody else's health, and we're sharing these pearls that can help people not have heart attacks, not have strokes, not have COVID deaths, not get dementia, and we can win the war on cancer. We spent billions and billions of dollars on trying to throw money at medical research to win the war on cancer, and it's absolutely been a dismal failure. All the time while we have the answers in the field of nutritional science, we could wipe out more than 90% of cancers right now if we gave the population great information from the US government. So I'd be a fighter for people's health and well-being and trying to radically change the way people think about health and nutrition.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Joel Furman, for being with us at Crack the Wellness Code. We're eternally grateful for your wisdom. Thank you so much. Any final message before we close?
Well, my final message, which I didn't speak about too much, is that nutritional excellence is not only prevents serious medical tragedies, it also is powerful medicine to reverse disease. In other words, psoriasis goes away, lupus improves, chronic headaches resolve. You know, we're talking here about high blood pressure, diabetes, people get leg amputations and go blind, and heart disease melts away. We're talking about nutritional excellence is the most effective therapeutic approach to deal with medical problems, not just prevent them. So the bottom message is, don't give up, you can do it.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Joel Foreman.
My pleasure.